I've got two things I want to talk about today. The first is that I've got some new releases in my shop, one of which is designed to encourage you to continue with creating more collage art. The second thing is that I want to ask your opinion about me creating another new Collage Weekly planner for next year. So that's what I'm talking about in today's video. So I have two new products in my shop starting from this week, and I want to show you how they came to be. The first one is this set of prompt cards, 50 prompt cards. Originally, they looked like this. Several years ago, I created this deck of 50 prompts, and it was this small deck that the cards were printed on both sides, and I had the idea that you could use them like a deck of cards, and you could mix them up and, you know, choose a number, say 3 of them, and then you had prompts on here that you could use either side, and they could help you to create a collage. Then, well, I sold out of those, and I was going to reprint them, and I had the idea then that I was going to reprint them just using one side, that you would have a deck of 50, the same prompts as before. Again, you could mix them up and use them, but the new thing about these was I left the back blank, thinking that maybe you could take one of these prompts and create a collage with it on the back, and then you would have a stack of a stack of these. So then I came up with this idea. So it's the same prompts. As a matter of fact, I used the same illustration of this ticket, and I created a 4x6 with an example of how I created a collage with this prompt, the first one being a receipt, and kind of show that as an illustration, a demonstration, I should say. Here's a paint chip. Number 3 is a form, blank or filled. So the idea is that you have this stack of 4x6, and they're blank on the back side for you to create your own collage with this prompt. When you're done, you can decide how you want to bind them. I was thinking about putting a hole punch in the top or on the side, but then I thought, you know what, maybe you want to do something in a cinch, or if you have some other idea of how you want to save these or how you want to use them. Okay, so these are 50 cards. They are printed on a really nice, heavier paper, so it's not going to fall apart when you're adding your layers of collage on the back. They are going to be, this set is $25, and I will talk about shipping after I show you the second item. So for a long time, I have been getting inquiries about this collage glue book I have made from index cards. This is something that I've been working on for several years. I keep on adding to it over the years. It's a fun little book, and I've just loved creating collages on here. And I get a lot of questions about how big is it, and how do you put the pages together, things of that sort. So I decided to go ahead and create a reproduction of the same thing. They are the exact same size, and they are printed on a sturdy cardstock. The colors are really gorgeous, super vibrant, and I think I like it even more than the original because they're smooth and super clear. I love the print quality of how these came out. It's just really, really nice. So there are 36 collages in here. And I included the sets, you know, so that they go together. So if you are interested in having a set of these glue book, well, I call it a glue book, but these are index card art, collage art, as a set, then that's what this is. I include this little ring, plastic ring, but if you want to use a metal one, you know, of course, then you can choose to use what you want. And I include this plastic ring for shipments that I am sending domestically in the United States. To keep the costs down for shipping internationally, I don't include this little ring. So let me talk a little bit about shipping costs. I just went to the post office and I showed them everything and I said, hey, how much is this going to cost to send? You know, what kind of shipping prices am I looking at here? So shipping costs in the United States, both of these together is $7.70. They will go out in a bubble mailer together like this. Individually, they're $3 and something, and this one is also $3 and something if you just want to buy one or the other. That's the cost for shipping in the US. Unfortunately, neither of these qualify as media mail. Media mail must be something that's bound, a book, for example, and these are not books this time, so these do not qualify as media mail. So they'll have to go out first class. For international, this is a little bit trickier. If I would send this international in a bubble mailer, it would be extremely expensive. I didn't even bother to ask, but it would cost something like $18 to $20 to send this internationally in a bubble mailer. The only thing that can be done to decrease the price for shipping internationally is if these things can go in an envelope as a quote-unquote letter. And that is possible. I figured out a way. So I have some plain envelopes here, and I figured out that if I break down my set of 50 cards this way and put them in a 9x12 envelope, they can ship internationally for a reasonable price. So example, to Europe, Germany, UK, also Australia and Asia, it would cost around $8 to ship this as is, as a letter. The same thing for these smaller, or for these, I can put them in an envelope like this and mail it, and these would cost about $5 to send to Europe and Australia. To Canada, it'll cost $4, and I forgot to mention that it'll also cost about $4 to send this to Canada. Okay, so I would have to mail these separately. These, if you order both, I will mail them in 2 separate packages. So the links are in the description box if you're interested in checking them out. It's $25 for the stack of 50 prompt cards, and it is $21 for the index card collage art. The second thing I wanted to talk about was my 2 collage weekly planners, and I'm thinking about doing a 3rd volume. Now is the time for me to begin planning this if I want to do it for next year. So these 2 planners, volume 1 and volume 2, they are the same concept. It has 52 weeks of collage art assignments. You have the assignment here on these kind of calendar pages on a weekly basis. Here is the volume 1. I had a little section down here for notes, and I kind of changed it up a little bit in the second volume and included these tracking habits. So now I'm thinking about doing a third volume if this is something that people are interested in, and in order for me to get feedback, I created a survey that I would really appreciate you providing some insight, some information. If you have used these planners in the past, if you've liked them, and any suggestions you have for me to make some changes, or, you know, should I just keep them as is? You know, now's the time for me to be doing some planning. And I'm not necessarily looking to hear just from people who want to see a new edition, a new volume, but for those who are not interested in continuing doing these planners, doing assignments in these planners, I would just like to also hear from you as well about, you know, what you didn't care for, or, you know, what didn't work for you. So I will put the link for that survey. I would really appreciate if you give me some feedback so that I can go ahead and plan for next year. So that's it from me today. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.